Once again, everybody, go to slavetonothing.org. That's slave, the number 2, nothing.org, and you can get your tickets for the fundraiser that is this weekend. It's $100. 100% of what you give and donate goes to the foundation, and it's at the House of Blues in Anaheim, so it's conveniently located for everybody in Southern California. You can get there, and it's going to be Tommy DiCarlo, singer of Boston, will perform. It's going to be a great event, lots of fun, and a coffee bar. That's worth it enough for me to get there. So there's something for everybody. I want to encourage you to go to slavetonothing.org. That's the Slave to Nothing Foundation, and click on the link up in the upper left-hand side, and you can get your tickets there. You're listening to Southern California Live. I'm Scott Furrow. We'll be back as the Monday edition of SoCal Live continues.
This is SoCal Live with Scott Furrow on 99.5 KKLA. Join the conversation now by texting Scott in the SoCal Live studio at 213-537-3812.
Living with a narcissistic spouse can make a marriage impossible. They expect special treatment, lack empathy, taking advantage of others, and may be extremely jealous, angrily lashing out. It could be time to talk with family law attorney Joni Solomon.
If your marriage is a nightmare and counseling has not changed your home environment, now is the time to seek legal advice. Narcissistic behavior can leave lasting emotional scars for both you and your children. I'll help you explore your best options to move beyond today's problems with solutions for creating a better tomorrow.
If you're in a failed relationship with physical or emotional abuse or addiction, you don't have to remain. In family law, all the important things in your life and your children's are at stake. So call Joni Solomon at 310-282-0858 for a free phone consultation. That's 310-282-0858. 310-282-0858.
Today's housing market is like walking to work uphill in the snow, both ways with no shoes and without a coat. Hey everyone, this is Mike.
And this is Brian with Fellowship Home Loans. It's truly a bidding war right now, with offers over asking becoming the norm. Time for buyers to be prepared with the Fellowship Home Loans Rate Lock Advantage program.
Secure your rate and payment while you bid. If the rates go up, you're locked in. But if they go down, yours goes down too. It's truly a win-win.
Give us a call at 800-804-SAVE. That's 800-804-7283. Or start online at fellowshiphomeloans.com. The time to lock is now because no one knows what tomorrow brings.
The Fellowship Home Loans Rate Lock Advantage program. 800-804-SAVE. That's 800-804-7283. Or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Offering shelter where the cold winds blow. Fellowship Home Loans.
Welcome home.
Intercontinental Capital Group, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender, MLS number 60134.
You know, there's a program on Saturday nights that we hope you'll listen to. It's David James. It's Real Life with Gina Pastore.
And David James.
And Gina, what's your hope for the program every Saturday night at 7:30?
My hope is that we can encourage you as you go through things like the grief journey, for instance, and how horrible that can be, and there's sometimes nowhere to turn. Hopefully we can help you with that. We talk about things like jealousy, lust, forgiveness. We help you make the distinction between what's the difference between love and lust and things like that. We talk about the things most people don't like to talk about.
Gina, there's a lot of pain going on right now, a lot of loss, a lot of grief, a lot of sadness and depression. You think about Bradley Rofer's family, this 8-year-old who was just walking his bike, got hit by a truck, and he lost his life. When we go through rough waters, don't isolate. It's this Saturday night and every Saturday night at 7:30 here on KKLA.
And we have a lot of fun, too.
We do.
I hope you'll join us.
99.5 KKLA is everywhere. On the air in SoCal at 99.5 FM, on your KKLA smartphone app, and now on Amazon and Google home speakers. Just ask for 99.5 KKLA. At Salem Media Group, our radio stations are always looking for great people to join our team. And we have a lot of career success stories, like Annette.
I started working for Salem 13 years ago. I knew I was joining a sales team, but I didn't expect all the extras that came with it. Working for one of the nation's largest and still growing Christian media companies has allowed me to work with some of the most passionate clients, business owners, talent, and employees. I've seen marketing assistants and street teamers get promoted to coordinators and even managers. I myself went from a media strategist to a local sales manager and now get to use my experience to help other sales reps grow their business. And I wake up every morning with a feeling that what I do every day matters.
Learn more more at Salem Media's Job Fair, streaming now at kkla.com, keyword job. Take a virtual tour of our studios. Meet people who make a difference in their careers at Salem Media. You could be our next media strategist. Go to kkla.com, keyword job. kkla.com, keyword job. Equal opportunity employer. Listen on Odyssey. Is SoCal Live with Scott Furrow. Join the conversation now by texting Scott in the SoCal Live studio at 213-537-3812.
Welcome back, everybody. Southern California Live. I hope that you are doing well. It definitely is a Monday, I'll tell you that, but it's great to be with you. If I'm having a Monday and I get to be with you on Monday, then it's a pretty good day. And so we get to be together every Monday from 3 to 5. In fact, every weekday from 3 to 5 right here on the station. If you want to call and join the conversation, the number is 888-528-2557, 888-528-2557. You can also send an email to SoCalLive@KKLA.com. All right, big story going on in Los Angeles right now, but it is a national story. And if you're paying attention, it is that Los Angeles City Council President Neri Martinez has resigned from her position. She resigned not from the City Council, at least last I checked. There's a lot of pressure for her to resign from the City Council, and I believe she should. But she resigned from her position as the president of the City Council. So I guess you can do it, and then you stay on the council, and then somebody else fills in interim, and then they'll elect somebody else, I think, within the council to do that. But she did this because she was recorded with other council members who making very racist remarks, and all of them are being asked to resign. And that chorus is getting louder. United States Senator Alex Padilla, who is our state senator, one of them, and both mayoral candidates in Los Angeles have called on all of these politicians to resign. So, you know, if you want to call and comment on it, 888-528-2557. I've had some thoughts. What happens is there's recordings. I'm not going to play the recordings. They're just pretty foul. And it is, and I know how behind-the-scenes conversations happen sometimes differently. I get that, but there are things said in these conversations, and I'll read a couple of things partially to you, that are terrible things to say. Things that are, you know, I don't think are said in a lot of conversations. They're definitely said out there. And this was recorded a year ago, so there's some interesting speculation as to why this suddenly came out now and not a year ago. And it was a conversation where the background of it is redistricting, okay, and how the LA City Council districts are drawn and who gets to have what stadium in their district. And if you ever take a look, if you know how this works in gerrymandering, usually we talk about gerrymandering in the case of a state where whatever party is in power every 10 years and they get to redraw the districts, they do so in really these crooked ways to try to make sure that their party stays in power, right? That's how sometimes the people across the street are in a different congressional district than you, but 2 streets over, they're back in the same one as you. That's the same at a city level. The city level gets redistricted also, and Los Angeles looks crazy. It makes no sense who is in what district, you know, not in a sense that you would think just as a regular voter would make sense. You know, I would think it would just be, you know, a certain number of cities or different things. No, it's drawn all over the place. And there's a conversation about that, but it got really mean and nasty. And here's a couple of things I want you to think about. I'm going to give you some scripture about this. As you're hearing this on the news, it's been national news, right? So it's been on all of the cable stations, and it's been on all of our local news. So wherever you're at listening to this, you're hearing about this today. One of the things I want you to keep in mind is your ballots come today. This is why. This scandal is why we don't just vote R's and D's without figuring out who people are. Can I encourage you, your ballots are going to come. Don't vote right away. You have plenty of time. You got a month, almost a month. Yeah, a month. You have a month to actually look into the candidates, and especially look into the local candidates. If we can learn something from the COVID, it's that our local candidates, those people make huge decisions that impact our lives. They, you know, most of the issues in the schools that are going on, the school boards are making those decisions. The local people are making those decisions about what's in the school libraries and what's being taught at different levels. There's some national stuff with that, but the local stuff is where it's at. That's where you have the power. issues that we had with the COVID and how California did things differently than other states. It's all local, okay? And it's not just R's and D's. You never know. You know, you might have an idea. I mean, generally speaking, Democrats are going to vote a certain way and Republicans are going to vote another way. But it's not always the case. And what we're seeing here, and I'll read a couple of things in a second, is a result of what's called identity politics. Identity politics is something that has taken over our culture, in our political culture, and it's dividing people by whatever identity you can divide them by. Okay, race is the big one. And that is what this conversation is about. When you're listening to these recordings, you can get them at latimes.com, you can get them all over the place, you're probably hearing them on the news. As you hear these things, everyone on the Los Angeles City Council is a Democrat, except for one independent. There are 0 Republicans, okay? And I point that out to say this. This is not left against right. This is all left. And this is the result of identity politics. It's a tendency for people of a particular religion or race or social background, this is what identity politics is, to form exclusive political alliances moving away from what used to be broad-based party politics, right? Is that what's happening in identity politics is we take people who have a certain point of view or a certain ethnic background or whatever it is, and we try to say you have to vote a certain way or you have to have these certain beliefs in order to have, and these beliefs that this group of people have are wrong and this belief that this group of people has are right. And it's a disaster. And it's not about letting people think for themselves. It's not about letting voters actually make decisions for themselves for what is best for the community that they're in. And it's a scary thing that this has taken over. I think it dissolves power of different groups as people are just divided up ultimately against each other. And it's a tool that's being used by powerful people to stay in power. And you hear this in these conversations. It's about redistricting and how to stay in power and how to make sure that this group of people doesn't have too much power if we drew the lines this way. And how if we draw the lines this way and take this group of jobs or this stadium out of this person's district, then this other